Coach, you guys, over the course of 10 days, completely turn over your goalie room. I think that's the first time in NHL history it's happened. Just from your assessment, how's the vibe around the room? How's it been adding these new guys in?
Yeah, vibe's great. We haven't really added Blackwood in yet. Like, he just got here to meet the guys this morning. But it's worked out great with Wedge, and we're getting some results with him in the net. He's playing well. He's giving us quality starts every time he hits the net. So I think, so far so good.
Chris mentioned multiple times what they bring to the locker room and their personalities. How important is that?
Well, I think it's important for everyone to kind of have their own personality, but like, we've got a lot of quiet, competitive guys, and to have a little juice in our locker room and a veteran presence in our locker room, I think is always a good thing, and both these guys certainly bring that. I also think, like, a goalie with that type of positive attitude and a guy that's like a real good team guy, it helps motivate the guys to go to battle for him, a guy you want to play hard for, and when you know that he's going to be vocal and he's going to he's in it to win it, it's always helpful. So I think both of those guys' personalities kind of fit with what our locker room needs right now. Plus, I think that they can both help us on the ice.
It seems like Ross Colton's return has kind of helped Middlestad's production. Just how do you feel about that chemistry on that line?
Yeah, I loved it. I think they played 2 really good games so far coming back. Yeah, really good.
Obviously, trades are give and go. Kovalenko, losing him is an ideal too. How do you see any effect on that team, and what does losing him kind of do for the lineup then?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're going to get some guys back here. So just like Covey was in a spot with us where he played in a bunch of different roles, and he's had some good, some bad. He's still a young player learning what he's got to do to be highly effective in this league and make an impact on a nightly basis. So, I think when we add some of our players back in, his role probably diminishes a little bit. So I think this is a great opportunity for him to go play and grow with another young team that's got a lot of skill. And I think eventually you'll see his game kind of round out as a guy that's chipping in on both sides of it. You don't like losing young players, but you got to give up something to get something. And I think what we're getting is more valuable than what Covey can provide for us right now.
You coaches talk about, sometimes reliability is the best ability at the pro level. How much can just consistency from the goalie position help this team moving forward, where you're kind of not riding a roller coaster? Can it help settle the team down, the defense down?
I think it can immensely help our team, and we've seen that already. If you look at how we've played in Wedgie starts, it's kind of obvious. So we've already seen it, right? I mean, he's been in 5 games now. Four games. We won 3 of those. He's looked. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we've won. He's quality start in all of them. Goals saved above expected is there. Like, we're just asking our goalies to, like, save the ones they're supposed to make and mix some other ones in. But I like the way he's managed the game for us. It's more than just making saves or key saves at key times. It's managing the game. If you watch New Jersey, Pitt, every time they spent a little bit of time in our zone and the puck came to the net, if they hit his glove, he smothered it. If it hit him in the chest, he covered it. If it was leaking to the net, he covered it up, slowed things down. Like, they were never able to sort of gain momentum and sustain momentum in the offensive zone because he just slowed the game down, and we'd make our change, and everyone could take a breath, and away we go again. And it's that type of game management from veteran guys like Blackwood and Wedgwood that we need, and it allows us, like I said, take a breath and then go after them at the other end again. And it just felt like in both those games we were, even though I didn't think Pitt was our best game, it was a version of what we did in Jersey, and it felt like we were in control of that game the whole time.
Even in the Detroit game, like the Georgia was started, you guys were very stingy in the 3rd period outside of that late little flurry. But what is it about the team defense that's picked it up? Not just in Wedgwood starts, but it seems like ever since Georgia was pulled against Buffalo, you guys have really handed down on that.
Yeah, after Carolina. Yeah. Once we played Carolina, we had a big meeting. We were pretty blunt with our guys about our lack of detail and what we were doing, not just on the defensive side, but like other things, getting on the same page, being predictable to ourselves with our puck movement, so put us in the right areas to either go on the attack or forecheck and get the puck back. But a lot of it had to do with defending details. So, and we just had a little consistent run of it. It's great. But now we got to continue to do that. Like, we're at the point in the season now, a third of the way plus in, that our defensive game should look like that pretty much every night. If you have an off night and you get shelled like Carolina, fine. You know, but then you got to go rip out another handful, dozen games in a row of it looking like we're supposed to look. Like, if you look at the games we've lost this year, we've given up, in those 13 games, we've only given up 4 or less twice. They're filling the net on us. When we're winning, our average goals against in those 17 games is 2.2. So it's a big difference. It's 5.2 in the losses and 2.2 in the wins. So when we're ready to check and play the right way, we're tough to beat. So now we have to do that very consistently. We should be getting more consistent as the year goes on. Like, they showed me, our group showed me in the Jersey game that we know exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Now you got to go get bought into it and committed to it, and it will lead to a lot of wins if we do that.
What's been the biggest change for you Calvin behind in these 3-4 games that you're talking about?
Exactly that. Exactly the same as the team. Like, everyone's bought into it. It makes it easier for every player on the ice if they know what everyone else is doing and they're doing the right things. It kind of puts you on the same page. Again, it makes you predictable in moving in and out of your zone. It makes you predictable in your defending. You're not guessing all over the ice. It's just more connected. It's more mapped out. It's just attention to detail and hard work.
Jared, you mentioned that the guys have been playing a little bit better in front of a new goaltender. So how does that change from a coaching perspective, maybe the mental load that you take on knowing that perhaps you have a little bit more stability in net and you can focus on other parts of the game?
Well, tricky question, but I think like we focus on, number one, the areas that we don't like in a game. And it changes every day. It's kind of like to some extent, even though it could be smaller leaks in it, it's like a boat sitting in the water and there's a hole and you plug it, another hole pops up and you patch it, and that's what you're doing all year long. But big picture, I think you're just trying to make sure your boat's as sturdy as it can possibly be. And as you kind of fix those things that are giving you issues, you still got to continue to improve other areas of your game and build on strengths of your game. And we've done that as well. Like, I just talked about the defending side of it being extremely important. That's our number one issue. That's the one we're trying to fix. Well, that'll be every game the whole year long. But on the flip side of that, in our wins, we've scored 4.5 goals per game, and in our losses, we've scored just over 2. So this kind of goes to what I've been saying since I've been here. The harder you defend and the better you are at checking the puck back, the better off your offense is going to be, and it's proven in our analytics.
Last one, please. Coach, go ahead. Go ahead, guys. Same affiliation. Go ahead. Go.
The power play has experienced some highs and lows at points, and you've mentioned that 5v5 play is the blueprint. The top line obviously connected 5v5 in Pittsburgh. What's not translating to the power play?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's funny because like in some of those games, you're not drawing a lot of power plays. We had 1 the one night, 2 the next. We get rewarded the one night. I think it was on 2 opportunities. I think it's starting to come around. I think when you're only getting 1 to 2 power plays a night, it makes it difficult because you can create some really good looks and then not score, and then you're 0 for again, right? Part of our offensive plan is that we're skating with the puck and we're attacking the interior of the ice, both off the rush and in ozone play, which can help draw penalties. When your offense is really going, you're going to draw some. I think our team will draw more penalties. It's been a little bit slow moving for me. I know, like, it's always goes back to the same things for me. It's the quickness and intensity and pace that our power play's playing with, and then you have to get in attack mode. And sometimes that, like when our offense struggles 5 versus 5, we gain more of a shot mentality. We get shooting the puck more. We start retrieving it more. And in turn, we start attacking out of chaos a little bit. The power play sometimes gets reluctant to do that. But I do see improvements. I think it was breakout was too slow for a few games. We fixed that. We got in the zone nicely over the last couple. And then the puck moving in the inside of the ice in the offensive zone was a little slow for me at times. But sometimes it takes the power play just a little bit longer to kind of snap out of it than 5-on-5, in my opinion. I think they'll get there. It's a matter of time. We just got to stay with it.
Injuries play a role in this, but Kiviranta, I think, is playing 3 more minutes a game this year than last year, and seems to be taking advantage of that. How have you seen his game evolve in his second year with the Rocket?
He's been phenomenal. He's been one of our most consistent players. And so I think I shared this with you guys last year, like his role in Dallas, 4th-line checker, what it was, what, his role was, how safe they played. Early last year, first third of the season, we started having meetings with him. Ray kind of took the bull by the horns there and started meeting with Kivy on him taking his game to another level. We saw it really when it comes to skating with the puck, making plays with the puck, thinking more offense once he's done his checking job, because he's one of our most reliable checking guys. Very similar to what we did with OC when he first got with us over his first couple years. And last third of the season, I thought Kivy was outstanding last year, and then his game took another level took another step in the playoffs. We talked with him early this year about making sure he came back and picked up where he left off, not to go back to just the real safe Kivy. Trust his instincts on both sides of the puck and try to become more effective offensive player, and he's done that. And that 3 minutes for me, yeah, we've had some injuries, that could affect it a little bit, but to me that's completely earned.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate
Yep,
it.
thanks.
Hang tight here, guys. I'll bring Mackenzie down.